Hi, in this video you will learn end-to-end project deployment using VSTS. You will learn continuous integration and continuous deployment. So here's the agenda. So in the very beginning you will learn creating virtual machine on Azure using code, that is PowerShell scripts. After that we will create two MVC project and connect that project to VSTS. After that we will create two branches of VSTS project so that a developer can regular check in or commit on source branch, and whenever he think that this code should go on staging or on production, he will merge that branch to a staging branch or production branch. After that you will learn to create build definition on VSTS. Then we will create deployment group on VSTS. We will connect our virtual machine here, and after that we will create release definition on VSTS. And at the end you will learn how you check in your code or commit your code using VSTS, and your CI/CD pipeline will build your code and then deploy on your target machine. So let's get started. The PowerShell script you see on the screen will create virtual machine on Azure. So let's understand it. Here the first line, this will ask you to enter your Azure username and password. That is your subscription. After that I am setting variables like location, resource group name, VM name and so on. After that I am creating resource group. Then I am accepting username and password for the virtual machine. After that I am setting up subnet configuration and then a virtual network. I am creating a public IP address and DNS name. After that I am adding a port, right? This is RDP. For RDP we need to add inbound network security port, that is 3389. After that I am allowing port 80 for all HTTP requests, and after that I am allowing port 8081. As you know, we are going to host two websites on a single machine, right? So the first website we will host on port 8081, and here you see 8082 port. We will host our second website here, and I am adding all the ports. I am adding a network interface, and then I am configuring the virtual machine here. So the virtual machine size is standard D1 and the credentials which we entered above, and after that I am selecting my operating system and its version, and then I am installing IIS and .NET framework on that machine. We are also adding a sample page default.html with the machine name on the www root, so that once VM will create we hit this page, and then printing the public IP address of the machine. When you run this script it will take some time, so just to save some time I already ran this script here, and you can see a IP address here. Let me try this IP in browser. Because we allowed port 80, we should be able to access this port. So you can see the virtual machine name. So this code is nothing but the infrastructure as a code. If you want this script, you can find the link to download this in the description box. Now let's go ahead and create web applications. So I'll create project, and then I'll enter here website 1, and then OK. I'll select MVC and make sure no authentication, because we are not going to CI/CD database here. So I'll select MVC and OK. Let me rename this solution websites, and in website solution we have website 1, and add another website. And now we have two websites. Let's run our first website. Perfect. Now let's run second website. And this is also working. Now let's go ahead and create a team project on VSTS. I'll create VSTS demo and I'll select my favorite version control. Let's create it. And now we have a VSTS project here. Let's go ahead and push this solution to VSTS project. For that I need to connect to that project. I'll expand my VSTS account and you can see the team project here. Just connect. And then in the solution explorer, right click on solution and add solution to source control. And then I'll type here source. And then right click on solution and check in. I'll enter here initial and then click to check in. And now on VSTS, click on code. And now you can see the initial commit and here the source, website 1, website 2 and website solution file. Now let's go ahead and create a staging branch, because my intention is to show you whenever developer merges source branch to a staging branch, only then CI/CD pipeline executes. So right click on source branch and branch it. I'll type here a staging branch and click on OK. Now right click here and check in. Staging branch. Now as soon as I check in, you see a different icon here, because the first initial branch was source and then from this branch we created a staging branch. Now every developer will frequently check in source branch, and once I find it is stable, I will go ahead and merge it to a staging branch, and a staging branch check-in will trigger CI/CD pipeline and it deploy the codes on target machines. So this is my intention here. You can also see this branch on VSTS here, and you see a staging branch check-in here and a branch source staging branch. Now let's go ahead and create a build definition. For this I'll click here new definition, and then I know my application is MVC application, that is ASP.NET web application, so I'll create build for ASP.NET application. Click on apply and then in the agent select hosted. After that select the repository here. So we have VSTS demo repository and our source is coming from this project, right? So here you see the other options, GitHub and Bitbucket and external Git and Subversions. Now this is all build pipeline, right? So first of all, in the build process it will use NuGet 4.3. After that NuGet will be restored, and then Visual Studio agent will build the solution, and then test assemblies will run, then it will publish the symbols path and then publish the artifact. Click on enable continuous integration and then save and queue. If you want to enter some comment, just enter here or leave it empty and click on save and queue. Now at this point, you see a build is queued. So I'll click on build and you see this is in progress. We can click here and now you see the message waiting for available agent. Just wait, it will assign an agent and it will build your project. It initializes the agent and it is going through the different process, right? Just wait for a few moments and now you see build succeeded. At this point you may ask, build is succeeded, but where is the build files? Because in Visual Studio when we build, we get some files that we deploy on target machines. In order to see this, click on builds and again click on this. And now you see this screen. Here you click on artifacts and you see a drop location and a button to download or explore. Let's go ahead and explore it. I'll expand drop and you see website2.zip here and website1.zip here. This will have every pages and all compiled DLL files that we need to deploy, right? Let's go ahead and add our virtual machine in deployment groups. I'll click on add deployment group and I'll enter staging VM and then click on create. Here I'll select Windows and then I'll click to use a personal access token. I'll copy this script to clipboard and I'll log on virtual machine and run this script. Now I'll click on start here and then I'll open PowerShell and I'll copy my script again and paste here and enter. If you see that you are stuck here, then just close the PowerShell and open PowerShell again and run the same script. So this is asking me to enter tag for the deployment group. I'll just press enter and again press enter. Now this is successful and log off to virtual machine and manage entirely from VSTS dashboard. But I'm just going to set up my website because I am already on virtual machine and now I have IIS services here. Expand the server and then sites and right click on sites to add first website, website 1, and select its directory inside C init pub www root and create a folder here inside www root website 1 and then assign a port 8081. Right click and add website 2 and select same location. I'll rename this folder website 2 and then 8082. If you remember, we allowed 8081 and 8082 port. Explore this website and add a page here. I'll show the extension and then rename this index.html. Open it with Notepad. Website 1. then copy this page in website 2, open this website 2. Now let's go ahead and test both ports. Here is my port 80. We are hitting this port by default. Now I should be able to access 8081. We are not able to access this port. We need to add inbound here on firewall because we added this on portal using PowerShell but not on Windows machine here. I'll search firewall. If you just want to host a single website, you may host on port 80, but as I said, I want to host 2 websites, so I need to allow these ports. (8081) and 8082. And then finish. So I added both ports on Windows firewall, and you see we are able to access 8081 website 1 and 8082 website 2. This is basic plumbing you need to do before configuring VSTS pipeline. Now I can go ahead and see the targets. I will refresh because we executed the script on machine. We should be able to see virtual machine here. So you see it here. Now I can go on release and create our release definition. And now here we need to select the template IIS website deployment, and then environment is staging VM, and add artifact file, that is from here. Hit add. Now on the trigger here I'll enable this. Release will be triggered automatically. Now if you want to send some mail to someone who is authorized to approve the deployment on machine, so in our case we are deploying on a staging machine, we don't want this, but in case you are deploying to production environment, you can enable this and add the email ID of that person. Now here I'll click and then I can manage the web app, right? So I can go and create the web app and then deploy the website. Because we already created website on IIS, we don't need the manage part. All we need is IIS web app deployment. So you see here staging VM, unlink all, because this will deploy on default website, and our intention is to deploy on website 1 and website 2, not on just default website. So I unlinked that. In IIS deployment here we can select deployment group, that is staging virtual machine. You remember deployment group, here we added our virtual machine. And now after that we'll click here IIS web app deployment, and then I'll rename it to deploy website 1, and then website name is website 1. This name should be exactly which you entered on IIS on machine. And here select its package, that is zip file. Click here and in the drop select website1.zip, or it will update automatically once you select there. And I want to take that website offline whenever deployment is in progress, and I want to remove any additional files at the destination. Keep in mind this will remove just files. So in case you have a folder that needs read write permission, just create that folder and go and manually provide read write permission. This process will not remove the folder or its permissions. So we set up website 1 deployment, and now I'll just clone it and I'll type here website 2, website name is 2, and package name is to website 2.zip and rest settings is default. Now I'll save it, and then just go ahead and create a release, right? We would like to test it from here only, or you can test it from here because we already saved. Just click on release or even on build. We can click on the build that was successful, and then you will see here option to release this build, right? One good thing that I would like to display here, that this build was successful, so you already have associated change set, right? This will help you to create a log. Let's say your manager needs the information what are all changes that is going online, so you have this already here. So make sure you enter correct message and you associate your task with the check-in. So this will help you automatically document the change log. Now click on release and create. Now click on release and you will see a release pipeline. So you see a new release pipeline. Double click here and then you see a message in progress. Click on logs here. You can see the different steps this process is going through. Just wait here, and now you see it is downloading the artifact file, that is website 1.zip and website 2.zip. This is deploying now on website 1, and website 1 deployment is successful. I can click here to see its log. You see here it's deployed on the destination, right? This is here website 1 bin, and website 2 deployment is also successful. Now if you open the virtual machine, so you see website 2 has these files and website 1 has these files. Now I can go on the browser and I can refresh. So I am browsing to 8082 port. Let me open 8081. And you can see a website is now available, and 808 website is also available. So far we manually created build and manually created release, but we set up everything now. Let's go ahead and make some changes in website 1 and website 2. I'll open website 1 and its index file, and I'll add here website 1 and then website 2. I'll add here website 2. Now let's check in this change. Some changes in title and click on check-in. Now we just checked in. If you come here on the build tab, you see here this is in progress and build is successful. Now let's switch to release tab, and you see a new release is in queue. Click on log tab and you see the same message, download artifact files, and then this will deploy both websites. But one question that we need to answer at this point, that we checked in the source branch and it triggers the build, right? But our intention is when we merge the source in a stage branch, only then builds executes. So let's find out that. Now to fix this issue, we need to check 3 points. Click here and then edit, and first of all we will check the triggers. In trigger we need to specify here branch name. Now to check branch, go to code and then files. I'll open this on new tab and you can see the branch name here. I'll just copy it and paste it here. Now go on task and on the process check the correct solution file here, and then in build solution verify correct solution here. And now let's go ahead and trigger a new build from Visual Studio and this will trigger a new build. And you see the build is in progress.